几个月前，我决定采访100位打工仔高层，他们光鲜履历的背后，没有一个人是一路顺风顺水走上来的。希望这些小小的采访可以带给大家大大的收获。
大家好，欢迎来到沙姐访谈 Shop Talk. Today we have Jennifer with us in the house. She is very, very busy. And then today she's only got 1 hour with me. Thank you, Jennifer. She is the head of sales in Hong Kong for large international consulting companies. So, Jennifer, welcome.
Thank you.
So what does success mean to you?
Yeah, thank you for having me here. I think the answer to that question has evolved and changed for me over the years. When I first got into the industry, I fell into this industry by mistake because I didn't go to school for this. So at that time, my definition of success was all just based on the things that I was doing in my career. The first milestone that I hit in terms of hitting my sales target, I thought that by achieving that, I would be at the top of the world and I'd be happy. But actually I wasn't. I was miserable at that time because of the way that I was living my life, the way that I didn't have any relationships. Since then, I started to define success as more being the best version of myself and doing the best in every single role that I play. So whether that's working for a company, whether that's in sales, now currently being a wife, being a mother, being a daughter. And so I think, once I switched my mindset to look at success and giving back and what am I doing to contribute to the next generation and to make, the world a better place, I would say. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So when you talk about that hitting the sales target, when did you realize that you're being a very good sales, you wanted to do this role?
I think I was always very motivated to solve problems. And then I didn't realize that sales was about solving problems initially. As I got into the job, I started to really realize that it's not actually about what people don't need. It's about what people need. And so how did I know that I was good at sales? When you start to see that the clients are working with me exclusively, because everybody has choice, right? And so these are some of kind of the indicators. I think it's really kind of from within. Like I knew I was good at sales when I started to really believe that this is what I really want to do.
Quite a lot of young kids nowadays, they're good at talking, they're good at interacting with people, but that's not necessarily leading to be a good sales. Can you just tell a little bit about like the good sales and bad sales? So what do you think about the difference in between?
Like listening skills is really important because I think because you mentioned communication skill, when they think about communication skills, they're thinking language skills, right? So when you kind of really break down each of these elements, like really listening, active listening to somebody when they're talking to you, which means listening from their point of view, not from your own point of view. And then when you're communicating, are you taking in the information? Are you analyzing the information correctly, formulating the right response or the right solution, right? For that problem? I would say like not afraid to engage with people, work really hard and continue to hone their skills. Sometimes people tend to want to sell something to somebody more than what they need. That's kind of the first line of a recipe that you're not able to build trust.
I've met quite a few different sales in my life. If you know that there's a famous sort of, sell me a pen, that sort of sales pitch.
Yeah.
So people tend to just tell you how good the pen is.
Yeah. Correct.
Right. But the problem is we need to understand why this customer needs a pen. That leads to another question, Jennifer. How did you actually build up the trust between the clients and how do you slowly build up personal brand?
I mean, there's a speed of trust here, right? Because when you first engage with people, the barrier of entry is always really high. Because imagine when you get a phone call from someone you don't know, your first instinct is to try to hang up and try to get out of that call as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
How do you really able to establish that trust in a short amount of time? Right. You're not going to be able to establish your value in the first phone call or the first 30 minutes when you meet them, right? But you can establish enough value that they don't think that by spending time with you, it's a waste of time. So then the door stays open for you to build trust. Another thing is just being honest is really important. Like I really don't want to recommend something to somebody that is the wrong solution or what they don't need. even at the expense of a sale.
Right.
Having that mentality is a long-term mentality because people understand and know that about you and they'll come back to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if every single person that you ever meet in your whole life, when they think about consulting services, they think about your name.
Yeah.
The first person that they think of is your name, then you have a brand.
So people will think about like solving a problem is in technology. They think about Jennifer, but not about the companies.
I hope they think about the company too.